Here, this is going to be quite interesting. Just a warning to people who are watching. I'm going to be a little honest in this video. In fact, I'm going to be quite honest. I'm going to try not to stir up too much controversy. I'm just going to give my honest opinion, but before I give my honest opinion, let's talk about this album. And let's talk about Queensryche. You know, there was a time where Queensryche was on top, man. Jeff Tate, back when he was still part of the band, there was Operation Mindcrime. Even Operation Mindcrime 2 was pretty good. They were on top, and they were pretty well reputable. I mean, I shouldn't say they aren't now. I mean, they're still pretty reputable. But sometimes a really good band just experiments a bit and puts out an album that doesn't appeal that much or just doesn't give that same vibe. A lot of people talk about Saint Anger by Metallica. A lot of people talk about what are some other ones? A lot of people talk about Diabolus in Musica by Slayer. This album definitely, in my opinion, will go on that list. And for a lot of fans, this album is quite different. It's also the album that led to Jeff Tate's highly publicized departure from Queensryche in 2012. Oh, this album is called Dedicated to Chaos. And oh boy, this album caused some chaos. This album nearly broke up the band. Not just Jeff Tate, but they've managed to keep things together. And yeah, it didn't. A lot of people do find this album to be okay, but it just wasn't what Queensryche fans wanted. Kind of like, kind of like Saint Anger. Wasn't the worst thing ever made, but it wasn't. Again, it wasn't what the Metallica fans wanted. Same with this album. Now I'm gonna go and go ahead and give my opinion. I did not like this album at all. I did not like that they experimented a bit. I don't really think it was their sound. I personally think it was Queensryche at their lowest point. Really, I honestly didn't enjoy a single song off this album. I was one of those fans that it wasn't what I wanted. I'm not a big Queensryche fan too, but I've listened to a lot of their work, and this album just wasn't what I was looking forward to hearing. I also felt that it wasn't very well put together in many ways. I personally feel that not a lot of effort was put into this album, and I feel that it has some bands when they experiment with stuff, it just doesn't sound right. Metallica experimenting with Lou Reed, for example, is a disaster. This album, I think, was a disaster. You can't. It's been rated as one of their worst albums. I can honestly say I agree. Um, I don't want to stir up too much controversy, so that's all I'm really gonna say off on this album. I will say that they went for more of a dance kind of feel. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. Kind of. I just feel like it wasn't that Queensryche sound that a lot of a lot of their older work has. And once again, the album did lead up to Jeff Tate's huge departure, and that breakup of the band was a mess, an absolute mess. I remember it quite vaguely. It was a disaster. It was chaos. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hope I still get a fan base after making this video. I'm sure there's people out there that like Dedicated to Chaos, but I'm just not a fan of the album. So, remind you that this is my opinion. So, yeah, sorry to any fans of this album. Alright, rock on.